Slayer won Favorite Animation of the Decade from the Funimation Awards. I see a lot of different reactions coming from all over the internet, some saying it deserves it and others saying it does not. If you haven't seen Demon Slayer yet, then I really recommend checking it out. If you haven't seen it, let me convince you why you need to watch it right now. We start with the character Tanjiro, who's from a small village in the mountains, and he's living with his family. He's living a pretty simple life, but he seems very happy living with his mom and siblings who look up to him. He heads to town to sell charcoal and does various errands for people, utilizing a gift of his, which is highly sensitive smell. As he heads back to the mountains, this old man stops him and tells him it's dangerous because of the demons and he should stay the night. This is where we get the first mention of the Demon Slayer corpse, who slay demons for a living. Now, this part is a bit spoilery, so just a fair warning, but everything I'm about to talk about right now is in the first episode. So once he gets close to home, he smells blood and rushes back to see his entire family was slaughtered. He notices his one sister, Nezuko, is still breathing and covered in blood, so he grabs her and tries to head back down the mountain to look for help. His sister's now turning into a demon and tries to bite him, but a demon slayer shows up to kill his sister, Nezuko, but Tanjiro is pleading with the Slayer to not kill her and does this really cool move where he throws the axe he was holding directly into the air while charging directly at the Slayer. The attack fails, but the Slayer was very impressed with the attack and then notices Nezuko is actually protecting her brother, and so he has a change of heart and spares her instead. This is where the show really begins, and Tanjiro is told to meet an old man named Urokodaki, who then trains him to become a demon slayer. The thing I am most impressed with in this series is its incorporation of CGI. It looks very seamless. Most anime who tend to rely on CGI usually do a pretty poor job of it and stands out for all the wrong reasons. Demon Slayer is maybe one of the first animes where I noticed they utilize it in such an interesting way, and it was to allow creative and dynamic camera positioning, using the 3D space to allow dramatic camera pans and feel more cinematic. I don't think I have really seen anything like it before in an anime. The way the camera will pan around Tanjiro as he gets ready to launch an attack just looks so beautiful and stunning, but one episode in particular stands out more than the others. It's the episode where he must enter this house with the shifting rooms. He's going up against a demon named Tazumi, and the demon's ability allows him to manipulate and shift the room around, making it difficult for the opponent to get a grasp of his surroundings. The technical achievement of this was pretty astounding because I don't think some people realized this was CGI that made it possible. All credit goes to Ufotable, who figured out how to seamlessly incorporate traditional animation with CGI in this manner. This is what allowed us to get this spinning room that is constantly moving with incredibly dynamic camera movement and just jaw-dropping visuals. The only other anime I can think of from the top of my head is Dragon Ball Super Broly, where they threw in some CGI, but I don't think they did nearly as good a job as Demon Slayer has done, as the CGI is a lot more noticeable in the Broly movie. The art style from Demon Slayer is also gorgeous. It has a very traditional Japanese vibe to it. Whenever you see the water effects from Tanjiro, they look like a painting, and it's so vibrant and eye-catching to look at. There are a lot of moments like this, but one scene in particular might be the biggest moment from Demon Slayer, and the moment that everyone was talking about and brought Demon Slayer to the more mainstream audience. This is when Tanjiro is up against the blood demon, and his breath of water techniques were not working. But without realizing it, he learned he had another ability, and they take us to a flashback where we get to see his dad doing some traditional tribal dances, and you can see his dad was just slowly getting weaker and weaker due to an illness, but always mustered up the energy to perform his fire dances. This is where the anime drew me in and made me feel attached to its world. The intensity and raw emotion of the scene, mixed with the soothing music, made the moment where Tanjiro unleashes his new power known as the Dance of the Fire God just so incredibly impactful, making you get an adrenaline rush, but also making you feel for him and rooting for his success. This right here, this moment, this scene, this is what got me into anime and loving it from the very beginning. After all of these years, I still love it the way I did when I was a kid. Moments like these are what it's all about. The protagonist against all odds, pushing through and enduring, carrying the world on his shoulders and doing what needs to be done. This is what makes a hero. Studio Ufotable went above and beyond, making every single frame of this feel so beautiful, yet so impactful at the same time. The water turning to fire and just simply engulfing the scene, and him constantly building momentum with his spinning attack, hurtling toward the enemy, made the stakes feel so high and so rewarding because of it. This felt entirely earned for Tanjiro, and the mix of CGI and traditional animation just made the complexity of the scene that much more gorgeous to look at. I have to say, so many other anime I've watched get moments like this wrong when using CGI, but Demon Slayer showed us how it's done. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate Nezuko? Tanjiro and her have such a strong bond together, and they will literally do anything for one another. Nezuko also makes one hell of a fighter, utilizing her demon powers and saving Tanjiro on multiple occasions. She's the rock that keeps him pushing forward and giving him a purpose to keep going and to never give up. So this would be one of those moments where I wish I had a Nezuko. I guess this is gonna have to do. Good Nezuko, head pat. My only real critique to the story was how it started to follow a villain of the week formula, but everything else about the story, animation, fight sequences, and the bond between the characters was just outstanding and didn't really make that a problem for me. Another amazing moment came from Zenitsu. I typically do not like characters like this in anime because they can be so annoying, and I mean so annoying. All they do is scream at the top of their lungs and are complete cowards. He does have his funny moments though. Despite this, he was able to provide some of the most amazing scenes in this anime. When he finally passes out from being overwhelmed, we get to see an entirely different side of Zenitsu, who lets go of his fear to fight properly, and when he does this, he becomes a complete juggernaut, taking opponents with one attack. His Breath of Thunder style is just jaw-droppingly beautiful. The way they utilize the CGI to make the shots so dynamic just blows my mind. His fighting style might be my favorite from what we've seen so far, and I just want to see more of it. I also can't leave out Inosuke. This guy is literally my spirit animal. He's by far the funniest character in the show, but also plays as a direct rival to Tanjiro. He does the most random things that just make you spit your drink out because it was so unexpected, and he lacks self-awareness and social skills, making the interactions that much more entertaining. He's kind of like Vegeta, with the same level of cockiness and trying to constantly get stronger so he can surpass Goku, but in this case it's Tanjiro. So Funimation declared Demon Slayer as the favorite animation of the decade, and was that the right choice? We have had a lot of gorgeous animations this past decade, and to be honest, a lot of them I think look more breathtaking and beautiful. You've got A Silent Voice, Your Name, or even Weathering with You. Though I would consider those animations a work of art, and not that I don't think Demon Slayer isn't a work of art, it absolutely is, but I think where it shines is with its technical achievements, incorporating that CGI ability into the series. So overall, yes, I do think it was well deserved, as I feel Ufotable helped push the industry forward as a whole, and we will see other studios adopting similar styles heading into the next decade. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Demon Slayer, and do you think they deserved the title of favorite animation of the decade? That's it for this one. My next video is going to be talking about Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia, and which one is better. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys in the next one.